Hello BookTube, my name is Adrienne and welcome back to my channel. Somehow the month of February is already over and that means that it's time for my wrap up. In this video I will tell you everything I read in the month of February as well as what I thought of it. In the month of February I read a crazy amount. It was such a good reading month for me. I read 10 books. This is insane. In January I read 8 books. In February I've now read 10. And this never happens. I don't think I've ever read this many books in a month. It makes me a little nervous for how the rest of the year is gonna go, just because last year I didn't read anything from like June to October and that was it. So we'll see how this goes with me reading so much now, but let's just hope that the trend continues and I keep reading a lot. But with that being said, let me go ahead and show you what books I read in the month of February. The first book I read in February was By Your Side by Casey West. This is her brand new release. It came out January 31st, and as soon as I got it on February 1st, I started reading it and had it finished by the end of the day. I think it took me about 16 hours to read this book, and this tends to be the case with Casey West books. I tend to read them very quickly, but I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. I think this is probably one of my favorites from her. Fill-In Boyfriend is probably my #1 favorite, and then this one, but definitely one of my favorites, and I really enjoyed this one. The next book I read in February is Love at First Sight by Joss Sundquist. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I also did a review on this book on my channel, so I will link that down below if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on this book. I really did enjoy it. I thought it went really well, but like I said, if you want more in-depth thoughts on this book and a summary, go ahead and check out that video. After that, the TBR Takedown 5.0 started, and I have a whole video vlog about TBR Takedown and what I read there, so I'm just going to go through the books I read during that very quickly, and then if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on that, I will link that video down below as well. So first I read Paper Princess by Erin Watt, then I picked up Spice and Wolf, then #Scandal by Sarah Auckler, followed by Blackmore by Julian Donaldson, and lastly The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. So like I said, those were all books that I read during TBR Takedown 5.0. So again, like I said, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on those and what I rated them, you can check out my vlog and wrap up for that readathon, which is down below. The next book I read was The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro. This book came out on February 14th. It is the follow-up novel to A Study in Charlotte. It's the second book in a series that follows Charlotte Holmes and Jamie Watson, who are the descendants of Sherlock and John Watson. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it, and I really enjoyed being back with Charlotte and Jamie and all of their thoughts, and I'm contemplating doing a review for A Study in Charlotte, the first book, as well as this one. So if you're interested in that, let me know, because I definitely have some thoughts on this as well. The last 2 books I read in February were both audiobooks. The first one being The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. This is the last novel in the Wrath and the Dawn duology. I definitely loved this novel. It was very, very good. I really enjoyed seeing the characters and how they dealt with the situation, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The last book I read in the month of February was also an audiobook and a reread, and I reread Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it just as much as I did the first time I read it, and I just decided I'm going to try and reread all of these books because I never read Empire of Storms because I didn't remember anything from Queen of Shadows, and I realized I actually remembered very little from the other 3 books as well. So I decided I just needed to reread them before I could do Empire of Storms, and so I'm working my way through those. Plus I'm in an audiobook mood, and I haven't gotten my new Audible credit yet for this month, so I'm going ahead and rereading some of the ones that I wanted to reread anyway this year. So Throne of Glass was my last read for this month. That is all I have for this video. I really am proud of what I did in the month of February. I feel like I read a lot, and I read good books, and that's always a good thing, to have books that you really enjoy when you read a lot. And so hopefully we can continue on this trend of good books that I like, and several of them. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by my channel. I post videos on Monday and Friday, so come back and check me out then. If you want to get notifications for when I post, you can hit subscribe down below, and I will pop up in your subscription feed. So I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.